Hi everyone, thank you very much for clicking on our YouTube video today. Today we'll be talking about abortion and our group stance on it will be presented towards the end of this session. And I hope you enjoy our video and you can take something out of it. So first and foremost, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Gabriel Chen. My student number is 0101-321-0030. And today, along with my friends Felicia Shu and Prakash, we will be discussing the pros and cons of abortion, as well as a couple other aspects which we hope you're able to take something out of. Now, first and foremost, just a quick note, abortion is defined as a procedure to end a pregnancy. Now, this can be done through surgical methods or even non-surgical methods, such as taking of a pill or consumption of a pill. And in most cases, it removes the embryo or fetus from the uterus of the pregnant woman. Now, why is abortion considered necessary and a part of our community? And that is because in some cases, abortion is required because it is medically necessary when a pregnancy endangers the life of the pregnant person. Now, there are a couple examples of diseases which can endanger pregnancies. One of it being the ectopic pregnancies, chorioamniotitis, as well as placental abruption. So in an ectopic pregnancy, as you can see in the picture here, it is a complication in which the egg was fertilized and the fetus has begun developing, but not in the uterus where it should be. Instead, in one of the fallopian tubes, as you can see towards the right and left side here, which results in a lot of complications for the mother. Sorry, there we go. Now, chorioamnionitis is a disease that affects pregnant women. In such a case, the fetus is compromised due to a bacterial infection. And the infection is normally caused by a burst of the amniotic sac, which results to an infection for both the mother and the baby, and is very life-threatening. Now, this is placental abruption. This happens when the placenta pulls away from the uterus walls, and as a result, causes internal bleeding for the mother. Also very dangerous. Now, there are two stances in terms of when it comes to abortion. One of it is pro-choice and the other is pro-life. Now, our topic discusses the controversy, should abortion be legalized? And today we'll be providing our stance later on towards the end of the video. But now let us provide you, the viewers, with both sides for the supporting and the counter for legalizing abortion. So you may be asking, what is the big fuss about legalizing abortion? Well, recently the US Senate overturned the Roe versus Wade ruling. This means that each state, or in Indonesia, the province, has the power to allow or ban abortion, and that banning abortion is no longer considered unethical and unconstitutional. If the health of the mother is not at risk, then in most cases, abortion would not be allowed. Now, without a medical emergency, women who are pregnant due to rape or unplanned parenthood are not allowed to abort their baby unless their health is compromised, which leads to a lot of complications down the road, which we will discuss very soon. Now, there are two sides to the story. One is pro-choice, meaning women should have the right to do whatever they want with their body, and pro-life, meaning the life of the fetus should also be considered and preserved. To be fair to both sides of the argument, let's look at some of the arguments from pro-choice and pro-life perspectives. Now, for pro-choice, so this is just a quick overview of Roe versus Wade. So for pro-choice, the first argument provided is that abortions are considered medically safe. Abortion, compared to other medical procedures such as plastic surgery, has a lower death rate, 0.7 deaths per 100,000 procedures for abortion, compared to 1 to 2 deaths per 100,000 procedures for plastic surgery. Now, it's also considered that studies have shown that if abortion was banned, then maternal deaths, or the deaths of mothers or women who are pregnant, can increase by up to 20%. In such scenarios, women who can travel out of state and are fortunate enough to do so may be able to abort their baby that way, whereas those who are not as fortunate would have to resort to back alley or illegal abortions, which leads to endangerment of the women and the child itself. Now, the second argument to support pro-choice, it the World Health Organization goes as far as to mention that bans can result in other difficulties for mothers. For example, some women may require the same drugs and prescriptions or procedures needed to conduct an abortion should they be experiencing a miscarriage. And as a result, hospitals and health institutions, even such as pharmacies, may be unwilling to provide that service out of fear of a lawsuit. Now, this ban, should abortion be banned, leads to repercussions on the human anatomy, particularly for the women. If the government can ban abortion and the rights to a woman's body, what more can they ban? And this is something that a lot of pro-choice supporters are debating. Now, it has been shown as well that women who do not abort their babies out of pure choice can lead to poor physical, financial, and mental health should abortion be banned. It has also been shown that women who have the choice to live freely, in the sense that they are allowed to choose whether they want to abort or keep their baby, have had the privilege and have had the option and luxury of living a slightly better life. Why, you may ask? Well, if a woman was, for example, raped and he or she was not financially ready for that baby, then having another child, and then having a child or even another child, should you have been a parent, would lead to complications for you and your future, let alone your babies. So that is our support for the pro-choice and on why abortion should be legalized.
So moving on to the pro-life arguments, the pro-life section in this uh, presentation is that the pro-life argument is the belief that all human life is created equal, regardless of its size, level of development, education, and degree of dependency. Pro-lifers believe that abortion results in depression because there have been instances in which a mother feels like they have wrongly terminated a pregnancy. People who develop depression over this likely do so because they are forced to live with the guilt of taking away potential life. Another claim that pro-lifers have is that abortion compromises fertility. There have been instances where people have had abortions and have developed infections in the womb. The overturning of Roe versus Wade resulted in states being allowed to put a total ban on abortions independently. Therefore, it is believed that limiting abortions leads to decreased demand for abortion. If women do not have access to safe abortion, they will eventually choose to stop having them. Another considerable fact is that there are no humane abortions. Pro-lifers argue that abortions is inhumane, because we would not perform such procedures on humans. So why would we do it on a fetus? Furthermore, from a biological standpoint, human development begins at fertilization. Hence, pro-lifers believe a fetus is already considered a living organism. The fetus begins developing in the duration of its gestational period. Biologically, at 4 weeks, all fetuses start developing limbs and eyes and a heart that can be detected at an ultrasound scan. Additionally, at 10 weeks, a fetus starts brain development, producing almost 250,000 neurons every minute. Lastly, at 20 weeks, studies have shown that a fetus indeed can feel pain.
Good morning, sir. This is Felicia, and I'm going to present the arguments from the con party and also the informal fallacies. So, for the inductive argument from the con party, it is every woman who kills their own child will feel sad and regret it. And in the long run, they may experience mental health problems such as depression. In inductive argument, if the premises are true, the conclusions are probably true. So in this argument, if every woman who kills their own child will feel sad and regret it, they may probably experience mental health problems such as depression. That is why it is an inductive argument. As for deductive argument, if premises are true, then the conclusion must be true. There are three deductive arguments from the Kant party, which is hypothetical, disjunctive, and categorical. As for the hypothetical syllogism, if abortion is legalized, unwanted children will easily be disposed. If unwanted children are easily disposed, it promotes culture in which life is disposable. Therefore, if abortion is legalized, then it promotes culture in which life is disposable. In this argument, it follows the pattern of if P then Q, if Q then R, therefore if P then R. So that is why this is a hypothetical argument. As for the disjunctive syllogism, either unborn babies are aborted or unborn babies are given the right to live and enjoy life. Unborn babies are not given the right to live and enjoy life, so unborn babies are aborted. In this argument, it follows the pattern of either P or Q. P, non-Q. That is why this is a valid disjunctive syllogism. And lastly, for the categorical syllogism, in categorical syllogism, there should be major term, minor term, and middle term. So in this, the pattern should be all M is P, all S is M, and all S is P. So in this argument, murder is a sin against God, abortion is a murder, abortion is a sin against God, which follows the pattern correctly. For the informal fallacies, there are many types of informal fallacies, but in this argument, which is abortion shouldn't be legalized. Once it is legalized, the number of people who will do abortion will increase. This means more sin will be made, and God will be mad. When God is mad, the world will then be disastrous. So in this argument, it rests on the claim that a first step will probably lead to a second step that will in turn probably lead to another step, so on until it reaches trouble. It is often exaggerated. So abortion might not actually cause the world to be disastrous, but there are exaggeration and there are also no sufficient reason for the chain reaction to actually happen. And the lastly, complex question. Who has given you the right to take away the life of an innocent baby? This question will cause some controversial presupposition to be made. So people will assume that that abortion gives you the right to take away the life of an innocent baby, when that is not actually what it means. Thank you.
Now, before we sum up and conclude today's video, I'd like to provide the stance of our group here for the debate whether abortion should be legalized or it should be banned. Now, we believe that, as you can tell by the title, that abortion should be legalized. Why? Well, despite religious beliefs, and I myself am a Christian, it is difficult and impossible and unethical even for me to impose my belief on another person. Furthermore, should women want to abort their baby, then the clinical safety is required, and safety for the women should be prioritized as well. And that cannot be done when abortion is banned. Now, as we discussed early on in the video, should abortion be banned, women would have to resort to back alley options or even illegal options to abort their baby, which puts them at risk. Now, also, forcing the law against a person's body is unethical. And I believe that a lot of lawmakers and us people and viewers in general, perhaps, should allow women to have the autonomy to decide what they want to do with their body. And especially for us men, I think it would be quite unfair for us to press our agenda and press our feelings and beliefs on a woman when we alone do not feel the difficulty of childbirth or even having to experience all those hormonal changes throughout life. And even later on when carrying the baby, should we choose to do so. Let alone if that baby was formed out of rape or out of other malicious intent, then that would further jeopardize the baby's life and future, as well as the mother's life and future. And so our group, we truly believe that women should be given the right to choose. And this is also quite unfortunate to the side of the baby, but again, we cannot force our opinions on others and especially on women. And so this is where we stand today as a group in regards to abortion and its legalization. So in conclusion, I just want to give a quick reminder as well that abortion is a very sensitive topic and it should be discussed with a certain level of respect without pressing our belief on someone else, as that can be quite unethical as well. Now, to wrap up this video, just a quick reminder that in terms of abortion, there are two sides, pro-choice and pro-life, and no one side is wrong or the other is wrong. And so it should be addressed in quite a respectful manner, where pro-choice supporters are petitioning and pushing for the legalization of abortion for the safety of women and for the right to choose over their own body. Whereas pro-life supporters, to an extent, may be looking at it from a more religious standpoint, where they're focusing on the life of the baby as well, of the fetus, and they would be against the legalization of abortion. Thank you very much for watching our video today and have a great rest of the day.